first 5-star book this year. That's coming home with me. I love a man who begs. So I'm getting ready to head out to the opening of the new romance bookstore in Austin called Flutter. I'm so excited. When I found out there was a romance bookstore opening here, I was like, I have to go to that. And their grand opening is today on Valentine's Day. So my mom and I are having a little mother-daughter Valentine's Day outing, and we're gonna go to the bookstore and then go to lunch somewhere. And I thought I would bring you guys along with me to see the store. I wrote down a list of books that I am looking for there. So the ones that I'm looking for are Savor It, Slow Dance, Role Playing, Spark of the Ever Flame, Keep Me, Yours Truly, The True Love Experiment, First Time Caller, and A Fire in the Sky. We will see what I can find. Today is Valentine's Day. My mom and I went to the opening of a new romance bookstore in Austin called Flutter Romance Bookstore, and it was so much fun. It was like the cutest little bookstore with like just the best like girly romancy vibes. They pretty much had every subgenre of romance that you could think of: contemporary, dark romance, romantasy. They had a whole LGBTQIA plus section. They also had a section with Spanish translated romance books. They had so much cute merch everywhere, like cute tote bags and shirts and stickers and bookmarks. They had dick marks. Dick bookmarks, mugs. They had blind dates with the books. They had tons of different special editions, cute couches, like anything romancy you could think of, they had. And I did some damage. I got 3 books. I made a list before I went there of books that I wanted, and I'm happy to say I stuck to my list. There was a couple things that they didn't have, but pretty much everything that I looked for, they had. And then I really narrowed it down to the ones that I like really wanted to read right now. So first up, I got Keep Me by Sarah Kate. This is her new Marriage of Convenience Scottish romance, and I'm just about to finish the Salacious Players Club series. I have one more book left, and so I decided to treat myself to a new Sarah Kate for when I finish that series. Then I got Savor It by Tara DeWitt. This is like the top romance that I wanted recently because I read Funny Feelings by her and I loved it, and everyone says that this is like one of her best books, and that it's like Gilmore Girls meets Schitt's Creek and The Bear. Those are all shows that I love, so I was very excited. Actually, the past couple times that I went to Barnes & Noble, I tried to find a copy of this, and they only had one copy, and it was very damaged, so very excited for that. And then I had to get First Time Caller by B.K. Borson. This just came out recently, and I have just seen non-stop people talking about this. And then I had to get this sweatshirt. As soon as I saw it, I just knew I could not pass it up. It's Oh my god, it's so cute. Let me get up so I can show you guys. Look at this. Look how cute that is. We have who I'm assuming is Lizzie and Mr. Darcy, okay? I don't need confirmation. In my mind, that's them. And it says, I read more romance than your mom. I just saw this and I was like, that's coming home with me. And they had a thing where if you spent, I think it was $75, you get to pick out a free book. So all around the checkout counter were shelves that had tons of books in them, and those were like the free books that you could pick. So I did spend a very long time looking through those shelves, and it was very hard to pick something. I don't know why when you're told something is free, suddenly it becomes so hard to pick, like you feel like you have to pick the perfect thing. But I did end up going with Blindside by Candy Steiner. I will say, towards the end, I did kind of black out and just pick something because I was taking way too long. But I have heard good things about this, and I've read a Candy Steiner before and I liked it. So, I don't know, we'll see. I think it's like college, sports, fake dating, but that was very cool that they had a bunch of like free books. I think all of their free books were ones that were donated to them by other authors. So that was a really cool little perk. There's also this cute little butterfly pin that is adorable. And then they also had a bunch of cookies. Today was the grand opening, so they had like a bunch of authors there signing books and a lot of like bookmarks and things that they were like giving away. And they had a bunch of cookies. I think this one is gluten-free, and then this one is like a butterfly sugar cookie. I do think at some point in the day they had boob cookies. I think all the boob cookies were gone by the time I got there, but the butterfly is very cute too. It was just so much fun. I loved it. I'm definitely gonna have to go back. I think over the next like month or two, they're having a bunch of author signing events. So I'm very excited to go back there. It was just so cute. But that's not it. That did not end my shopping day. You guys know, or maybe you don't, I've been on the hunt for shoes. Ever since my surgery, I pretty much had to get rid of all of my shoes because none of them fit me anymore. And it's been very hard. Like I've been looking for shoes for almost 2 years now, and I have not found any that I like, that fit me, and that are comfortable. And the thing is, I could just buy some ugly ass shoes that are really comfortable, but I don't want to do that. I don't want to sacrifice cuteness for comfortability. I want to find both, okay? So I did find a pair of Free People shoes. They're very expensive, but I was like, okay, I've been looking forever. I just want cute shoes that are comfortable and that fit me. And I saw these and I tried them on, and they're just so cute. They're just so cute. They're these beautiful platform clogs. I'm just, ugh. I could not. I knew if I walked away from them, I would cry. And my thing is, I can think about it for a while, and then I can return them if I need to. It's fine. Also, I just got my security deposit back from the place that I was renting before, and that's basically free money. Okay? And then we went to Marshall's, and I found a pair of Steve Madden shoes that are also very cute. These are just like little slides. As you can see, I like black shoes just because they go with everything. Black shoes are just so easy. I love black shoes, but these were also very cute. These weren't that expensive. The other ones were something, as you can imagine, because they're Free People. But my thinking is, I have not bought a new pair of shoes in 2 years because I genuinely can't find any. If you think about it, they really weren't that expensive because it's 2 years worth of shoes just in one pair of shoe. That's how the math works. I'm gonna start Savor It by Tara DeWitt. I have just been in such a mood to read like a cute, cozy, sweet romance. And this just sounds so good. So I'm gonna start it and then I will give you my first impressions. Okay, I just read the first 40 pages, and the main characters just met, so I feel like this is a good time to tell you what this book is about. So we're basically following two characters, Sage and Fisher. Now, do they both have kind of silly names? Yeah. Sage lives in this very small coastal town in Oregon, and when she was a kid, her parents died, and she was kind of raised by her older brothers, and she inherited her parents' house, which is just like this beautiful, almost like farmhouse. And she lives there by herself and has all of these like crazy pets running around, like a three-legged cat, a huge dog, a horse, some geese. The house next door to her is being rented out for the summer by this guy and his niece, who the guy is obviously Fisher. He is a Michelin star chef from New York who kind of just fell from grace. He lost his Michelin star and basically was fired from his job because ever since his sister died and he became the guardian of his niece, his life has just been kind of spiraling. And so he is spending the summer in Oregon. His boss basically sent him there and was like, you need to get out of New York, get your shit together, do some research for me in this little town where I'm thinking about opening a restaurant. And it was really funny the way that they meet. The very first night that him and his niece are in this house, at like 3 a.m. they hear this like banging downstairs and like growling, and they think that a rabid animal got in, so they call 911. And then Fisher goes downstairs to investigate, and it turns out it is not a rabid animal or an intruder. It's the Roomba. The Roomba got like caught up in like the curtains or something. It was like making crazy noises. It was a very funny scene because then when the police show up, he has to be like, sorry guys, it was the vacuum, and they kind of give him a hard time about it. And then Sage sees all this going on and she comes over and helps out, and it was a very cute scene how they met. But I am really enjoying it so far. I love romances where the guy is a chef. I don't know, there's just something about a chef hero that always really gets me. Maybe it's because I like to eat and I want to be fed. And so far I really like Sage. She's very like eccentric. Like she wears these crazy robes with like the feather boa on the ends of them, you know? And all of these like silly t-shirts with puns on them. I'm gonna keep reading this, but so far I am loving it. I have two book mail packages. One of them I think is a pre-order one. Is something from Pango. I think I know what it is. I'm gonna pre-order because I'm pretty sure this is a very anticipated release. Yes. Okay, I was supposed to get this book days ago. It is Scythe and Sparrow by Bryn Weaver. This is the third book in the Ruinous Love trilogy. It came out earlier this week. So why did I even pre-order it when I'm getting it like 5 days late? Don't know. When I was at Flutter, I wanted to buy this, but I knew that I'd already pre-ordered it and that it was like on its way to me. I am so excited to read this because the couple in this book, I've been very interested in them from the other two books. And I think that this one has to do with a circus, which just sounds fun. I probably will read this in another episode of my finishing every book series I'm in the middle of, because this is the final book of the trilogy. This one from Pango, I'm pretty sure is a book for a series that I'm doing on Patreon. Basically, I am on the hunt for my perfect 5-star sapphic vampire book because I'm convinced that my all-time favorite book is going to be a sapphic vampire book, but I've been unlucky in my quest so far. So I'm doing a series over on Patreon where I read as many as I can. The first episode I read Lucy Undying, so I'm pretty sure that this one is another one. I also just recently got Hungerstone by Kat Dunn. So that'll be somewhere next up in my lineup. Oh my god, the person who taped this, I think they used all the tape in existence. Okay, yes, it is what I thought it was. You know, they said your book will not come damaged. Not on my watch. Okay, so this one is This Ravenous Fate by Haley Dennings, and I remember this one sounded really cool because it takes place in the 1920s in Harlem, and there was another sapphic vampire book I read recently that took place in the 20s, but it was a major disappointment, so hopefully this one is better. I don't know if this is the next one I'm gonna read, but that is a series I'm doing over on Patreon, so if you're interested, episode 1 with Lucy Undying is already out. I'm on the quest to find my perfect sapphic vampire book. Breasts are fantastic. They're running a vampire pyramid scheme. This is really reminding me of one of my favorite historical romances, The Wallflower Wager by Tessa Dare, because in that one, the heroine also lived in a house and had like tons of like crazy pets running around, and then she had a neighbor move in next door who was the hero, and this, to me, feels like the contemporary version of that book. I will say that one had a little bit more of like a rivals to lovers vibe, whereas this one, they do very quickly like become friends and like get along with each other. But if you like The Wallflower Wager by Tessa Dare, you will like this book, and vice versa. If you loved this book and you haven't read The Wallflower Wager, you have to. It is my favorite Tessa Dare book. I also feel like if you like Funny Story by Emily Henry, this does have some similar elements to it, especially with one part I didn't even mention is that in this town, she has an ex-boyfriend who she was with for a really long time. He was the mayor's son, so he's a very big deal in this town. And he randomly, just one day, out of the blue, broke up with her and very quickly started dating someone else. And they're now getting married. And so she like has to see them everywhere. And Fisher is like, do you want to make him jealous? Because I'll pretend to be your boyfriend when we're out in public so we can make him jealous. So it has that vibe from Funny Story. And so on top of like her trying to make her ex jealous, there's also this like annual competition in the town that her ex is taking part in, and she wants to join the competition and beat him, and she needs a partner, so Fisher also agrees to be her partner. And one aspect of it is that they have to like know a bunch of like town trivia, so she takes him to the library to like study up on the trivia. And oh my god, there's this part where he literally starts begging. He goes, let me go down on you again, I beg. I'll give you anything you want. I'll memorize that book for you. He's like, please, give me a taste. You know, I love a man who begs. He cooks, he begs. What else do you need? I am just obsessed with this. I love it so much. I love it. I definitely feel like it's gonna be 5 stars. I finished. It is 5 stars. I actually almost entirely read it in one sitting, except I realized I was supposed to cook dinner tonight and I completely forgot because I was so sucked in. I had to very quickly, last minute, throw together dinner in like 15 minutes. It actually came out really great. I made a lemon pasta and some chicken and it was really good. But I almost completely forgot until my mom walked over and she was like, I thought we were eating right now. I was like, oh, yeah. So I finished. It's 5 stars. I loved it. I loved it. I loved it. I feel like I just have a feeling in my heart of hearts that this is gonna be my favorite romance of the year. I could be speaking too soon, but I just loved this so much. I actually just ordered Tara DeWitt's other book, The Co-op or something like that. And then I'm so excited. She has another book coming out this year that I didn't even realize features side characters from this book that I actually was so interested in because they were married. They were like childhood sweethearts. They were married, they have a kid, and then they got divorced. And I was like, there's just a couple things that happened in this book where I was like, what's going on there? So that comes out later this year. Very excited for that. I loved the way that it wrapped up. Something that I said when I read Funny Feelings by Tara DeWitt is that I really appreciated how she handled like the third act conflict, and it felt very mature and realistic, and like the characters were able to communicate. And I felt similarly with this one where there was no like miscommunication. There was never miscommunication in this book, which I appreciate because that infuriates me. There was a conflict. This one actually I think had a bigger conflict than Funny Feelings, to the point where I was kind of like, how are they gonna resolve this? I was getting a little nervous, but it did get resolved, and I just felt like it was everything, like the way that all the characters like handled things was just, it feels very mature. Also, I realized so far this year, I have read more romance books than I read the entirety of last year. She's back, baby. Romance Riley is back, and I'm happy to be here. I think this might be my favorite book that I've read so far this year. Maybe? Trying to remember what I've read this year. I think this is my favorite. Oh my god, is this my first 5-star book this year? I actually think this might be my first 5-star. Oh my god, this is my first 5-star book this year. I didn't even realize I haven't had a 5-star book yet this year, because technically the only other 5-star book that I've had is The Tainted Cup. I actually read that at the very end of December. I just didn't log it until January. So technically this is my first 5-star book of the year. That's crazy. With that, we are gonna wrap up this vlog. If you made it to the end of this video, leave me a goose emoji. Is there a goose? A goose, a duck, a swan, whatever it is, for all of Sage's birds. Also, tell me what was the first 5-star book you read this year? Have you read a 5-star book yet this year? I didn't even realize I've gone this far in the year without reading one. Thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I will see you in my next video.